Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the president of Ubisoft North America, Laurent Detuck.
Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. You're going to see a great show today. We have fantastic games, and I'm sorry to say, because I know it gets old, but this is our best lineup ever. The first game I'm going to show you, because I know you want to get right into it instead of listening to me talk, so let's play some games. I will first show you Rayman, Raving, Rabbids TV Party. This one is my favorite in the Rabbids series, and it's not because you can play with your butt, but it's because it's really good. It's actually very intuitive, very easy to play, and as you will see, it uses the remote, which is an extension of your arms, and uses the balance board, which is an extension of your legs. So let's get into this. Again, very intuitive, hilarious as usual. You just lean left, lean right, and then the character, the rabbit, goes left or right. I have to stop talking because I need to play a little bit. So if you lean backwards, it accelerates so that you can then take a ramp and pull some tricks. Like this, hello, like this. Mwah. Oh yes, beautiful. Oh, sabotage, that's fantastic. Now, because I'm not so good at this, because somebody reminded me I was a little old earlier, they're not throwing snowballs at me, but in multiplayer mode you will have your friends throw snowballs using the remote. And let's do some more tricks. Da Vinci Air. Inverted hairy beast. And backslide cheesy pogo. There you go. Oh, one more. Oh, again. Oh, no kiss this time. Okay. So we love these because to us the balance board suddenly feels like it's as if we have a new machine, you know, with the number of balance boards that will be around and how friendly it is to use. Oh, that was not good. We really want to take advantage of that accessory as nearly like a new platform. And there we go. Okay. So, Rayman, Raving, Rabbids TV Party, big plans. We have really big plans for it this year. It's coming out in November on Wii and DS, and it's made by very creative and talented people. As you can tell, this is a genius at work and at its best. I would like to show you a video so that you can see more of what you just saw now. Let's take a look. Right. Rayman holds a very special place in my heart because first I finished the first game in 1995, and for those who did, it was gruesome. It took a long, long time, and but also because since we launched it in 1995 in September, we didn't really anticipate that 13 years later and 22 million units later, we would be so proud of our limbless hero. The fact is that Rayman really represents what we try to stand for at Ubisoft. We build, we nurture franchises, and we do so with creative talent. We do so by focusing on originality and creative. So it's a very special product for us. But the fun, you know, we are a serious company and a serious business, so we are serious about what? We're serious about fun, obviously, but we're also serious about entertainment experiences. So the next product you're going to see is different in that we will need to address everybody's sense of fun. And it comes from Gearbox. These very talented people at Gearbox have made the third installment in the Brothers in Arms series, Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway. And it's coming out in September. And as you will see with the trailer, they really go so far in authenticity and storytelling that there's a wealth of talent again over there. But again, don't take my word for it. This is a refresher trailer, and you should really go on our booth to get immersed in those cinematic experiences that the Gearbox team brings to us.
I've seen the blood and dirt on their faces. I've seen young boys turned into soldiers. I've seen men ripped apart by bullets. I can't forget these things I've seen. And so I ask myself, take me! How much more can one man take?
Miners! Get everybody up! Hit that empty hard! There's no telling when the Colonel will show up at the 506. You can push them back until he does. On 3! 3! There's 1,000 people that need our help right now. Fire on them! I'll be sending the rest of your friends your way real soon.
This one doesn't get old. It makes me shiver every time. So Brothers in Arms comes out in September on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and PC to a good TV near you. The next franchise I want to talk to you about is when I look at Brothers in Arms and I think about authenticity, is the other authentic franchise, which is Tom Clancy, and it's a big franchise for us, obviously. But it's also even more interesting this year because in 2008 we have the 10th anniversary of the entrance of Tom Clancy in the gaming space. So, as the number shows here, it's not just an anniversary, it's also really a big landmark for us. It's a 55 million units sold so far, so it really is important. But I would like to take Tom Clancy to talk about something else, which is what I would like to point out as Ubisoft's corporate leadership. And there are three things that I would like to talk about in that regard. The first one is on just the corporate vision. We went to China to open a studio many years ago, and I use this because this is where N-War is being made right now in Shanghai, and many others have followed suit after us. Still using N-War, I want to talk about leadership in technology and creativity. N-War quite possibly will be a landmark in gaming history. This is the first game you're going to be able to play with your voice. You're going to talk to your TV, and it's going to play. And you will see that in the trailer next. But the next reason why I would like to talk about Clancy in terms of leadership, corporate leadership for us, is because there's been a few events happening over the last year or so. We built a CGI studio in Montreal about a year ago, and then we bought a company a week ago also in the CGI space. And in between those two dates, we also acquired the perpetual rights to the Tom Clancy properties so that we can put them on other mediums than video games. So imagine what you want: TV, internet, books, etc., etc., etc. So all this to say that this franchise is a big, big one for us. It's our biggest right now. And it is one that we'll take to multimedia, obviously. And this is where I think we have leadership as a company. So without further ado, I was mentioning earlier about how you're going to see the trailer explain how N-War gets played. For those who haven't seen this, it's really incredible. And I really encourage you to go again to the booth and try it, because until you try, you really don't understand what it is to talk to your TV. Let's take a look.
All units, advance on enemy position.
Copy that. Alpha's moving. Roger. Bravo moving out.
Units 2 and 3, move the tanks to flanking positions.
Moving as ordered.
Open fire. Drop in more troops.
We're under heavy fire from enemy tanks.
Air Tango, take out those tanks!
Roger. Choppers are on the way.
Drawn them in. Send the fighters. Launch kinetic strike.
Tom Clancy's N-War. Your voice is the ultimate weapon.
Coming this fall, Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. So like I said, we have a really good lineup, and the next one is also very, very special. I like to think of it as what was Assassin's Creed when we introduced it to the world. So the next title is Far Cry. Why do I tell you about Assassin's Creed? Is because Assassin's Creed was the ability of taking new technology, so next gen, and apply it to an old genre, action-adventure, or a genre, any genre for that matter. And we saw the result, an amazing experience. You're free to go everywhere. It looks fantastic. It's marvelous. So Far Cry 2, it's kind of the same principle. We look at this as first-person shooter 2.0. It's next-gen applied to an existing genre. And first we're going to look at the trailer so that you get in the mood, and then we'll explain to you a little more why. So let's take a look.
How do you stop a man who has the power to turn a nation into a graveyard?
They'll send someone.
very, very big. We have huge plans for Far Cry 2. And because I was saying earlier that you wanted to see some games as opposed to hearing me talk, we're going to now explain to you why we think there's a lot of FPS games that are going to be done this way going forward. And it is now my great pleasure to introduce you to a very, very talented guy who is the creative director on Far Cry, Mr. Clint Hocking.
Hello. Hi, I'm Clint Hocking, and I'm the creative director on Far Cry 2, and this is Jonathan Morin. He's the lead level designer. John and I have been working, along with the whole team back in Montreal, for over 3 years now, trying to sort of answer this mandate, if you want, from Laurent and the rest of Ubisoft, to try and find a way to reinvent the shooter, to make it something that would change forever the way people really think about how it is that they play a shooter and how what they should expect from a shooter. In order to accomplish that, we decided that the best approach was really to take all of that intense action and excitement that you expect from a first-person shooter and make sure that you were able to experience that in a fully open world, 50 square kilometers of Africa, where you're free to go wherever you want, whenever you want. And more importantly, the message that we want to bring to you today is that you're able to play this game the way you want to play it without any fear of being overwhelmed by having too much choice. So we're going to get this demo going on the monitors in front of John here. Thank you. And up on the screens. This is a live demo, so I'm going to be talking as John is playing and watching it here on the monitors. This is not rehearsed. Everything is happening live right in front of you. We've talked to you before, and maybe you've seen the game before and seen all of the ways that you can play this game, you know, like you saw in the trailer, guns blazing, fully automatic weapons, grenade launchers, rocket launchers, really playing the game in an aggressive, action-focused way. Today we're going to talk a little bit about how to play the game in a kind of a quieter, stealthy way. These are some of your friends, but what we want to do right now is get in here and set the time to night. This is how you save on console. On PC, of course, you can save anywhere, but John's going to set the time for 1 o'clock in the morning, take a little nap, and go to sleep. This is the only time you lose camera control in the game. The camera cuts outside of the safe house. You can see the weather passing in fast forward, the moon coming up, time passing in fast forward. When you awake, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. And now John's going to go and try and complete this mission, or at least the first part of this mission, under the cover of night. He's got himself an MP5 with a flash suppressor silencer on it that's going to allow him to take targets in combat quietly, although not completely silently. He's also got a dart rifle, which fires some kind of animal tranquilizer. It's completely silent, effective at intermediate to long range, and can take a guy out with a single hit anywhere in the body. In addition to that, he's got some IEDs in case he needs to make an aggressive, punchy remote detonation. But we're going to try and keep things subtle this time. Now, I told you we have a 50 square kilometer open world. If you want to pop up on the map, John, you'll see, go to the full map. This is a 5 by 5 square kilometer area. This is the southern portion of our world. John's objective is the X right in front of the green arrow. Zoom to 1 kilometer. This is a 1 kilometer map showing the player where his objective is in relation to sort of the immediate environment. And when you approach an objective location, you have what we call a detail map. This map allows the player to have detailed reconnaissance of the area and also to add information about what's going on in the camp to the map so that he can use it to his advantage. John's going to try and scout this camp out a little bit, and we'll show you a little bit of how you can use that information to your advantage. There, he's using his binocular to zoom in on a sniper on that sniper tower. And by targeting that sniper, he can add information about where that sniper is to the map. Those little circles there indicate that there's a sniper directly ahead on top of the tower. It also shows that there happens to be a sniper off the edge of the map across the gorge. There he's going to add a health station. Marking a health kit will add information about all the health kits and ammunition piles that are available to you in the location. Like I said, we have a fully open world. The player's allowed to go where he wants, when he wants, and he's encouraged to play the game using whatever style he's most comfortable with and the tools that are available to him. However, we don't want the player to feel overwhelmed. What am I supposed to do? We give the player the tools to make a plan. John's going to use his sniper. Oh, miss. John's going to use his sniper rifle to take out that sniper. Again, completely silent, so no one will know what's happening. There's another one on the opposite side of the gorge if you can get the shot. Again, now that the player has this map, has the ability... Oh, he's been flanked. Like I said, it's a live demo, so we never know what's going to happen. There's probably a patrol moving through the jungle up there, and someone happened to spot him and went up and flanked him. So now now that he's got this stealth loadout, John's forced into a defensive position. He's got this MP5, which isn't the most effective weapon in a stand-up fight against guys with shotguns, and a dart rifle. He's going to have to improvise quickly. He's going to be badly outgunned if these guys manage to identify him and locate him for real. He's going to take the objective quickly and probably put some distance between him and the location as fast as possible. Watch out for the snipers. Take the sniper to your left, John. He'll get you. And that's his buddy Frank phoning in to update him on the mission. Like we said, we only have time for a short demo today.
all the way over here. The chief's on his way over to the radio tower. I suggest you hasten to meet him.
We only have a few minutes to show you a very quick demo. We wanted to make sure you had a chance to see what the game looked like at night, see some of the new stealth equipment and options that we have in the game, and give you a sense of how the player can minimize his impact instead of just always firing with rockets, playing very aggressively all the time. Thanks very much. We'll be launching this fall on Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC, all simultaneous launch, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Thanks for coming. Did we come off? Where's Laura?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing, Tony Key.
Hi. I'm going to take it in a different direction today. Right now, from Far Cry, we're going to talk about the tween girl market. Our Games for Girls strategy has been a great one for us, and it's a market that's really booming right now. Particularly on the DS, it's growing faster than the overall DS software market. In the first 3 months of 2008, it grew 63%. So this is clearly a market that's going somewhere. This is illustrated by this chart I've got here. These are the top 10 third-party brands on the DS in 2008. As you can see, 6 of these top 10 are targeted to tween girls. At the top of this chart is Imagine, which is a Ubisoft brand, so we're very pleased with that. But also at number 3 is our own Pets. And so you can see that our strategy is working very well for us. Pets in particular has sold 13 million copies since we introduced the brand. Imagine has been the number 1 brand for third party, and Pets has been the number 1 so far in 2008, the number 1 overall animal simulation on that machine. So you can see that the girls are actually buying a lot of games. So you might call them new gamers, you might call them non-traditional, but you definitely cannot call them casual. They're clearly playing and buying a lot. So let's talk about what's happening with Pets this year. This year, you can interact and raise an entire Pets family. So let's watch the video to explain.
Hi, I'm Wiggles. This is my dad. People say I have his nose, and of course his ears. This is Mom. Folks say I have her eyes, and her smile. Lucky for me, I got her tail.
Hi, I'm Daisy. I get my fluffy fur from my mom. My tail too. And my ears and eyes are just like Dad.
For the first time, the all-new Pets games let you create the perfect pet for you. Or pick from lots of your favorite breeds. Raise a whole family of pets and let them play together. Even share your pets with your friends. Teach them tricks. Watch them grow.
Hey, don't forget about the monkeys.
Yahoo!
So for the first time ever, You can actually cross breeds and create your own unique pets families. So this is a great customization feature that our research told us that everybody wants. This fall, we've got coming back to the DS, dogs, cats, and horses, and as the video showed you, monkeys. Very, very popular. Monkeys is also coming to the Wii, and we also are bringing dog sports to the Wii. So this is going to be a big year for the Pets brand. We also have some interesting news on the Pets brand. I've got it right here. Today we're announcing, in partnership with Commonwealth, Pets is going to have a plush toy at retail this holiday. But what's cool about this is that on the back, it has a code that unlocks this guy inside your game, and he becomes a playable character. So that's a feature that I think kids are really going to love this coming holiday season. The other brand I mentioned before was the Imagine brand. Since October of this year, Imagine has taken the DS by storm. We've sold over 4 million copies worldwide of the Imagine brand. This year, we've got a whole new theme of Imagine games coming. Let's watch the video.
How do you imagine your New York fashion shoot? You can be a rising star in the glamorous world of New York fashion as you create, design, and accessorize in a style all your own. How do you imagine your first concert? You can take center stage when you rock out solo or with friends in your very own band. How do you imagine your first movie? You can experience the fabulous life of a Hollywood celebrity as you attend glamorous movie premieres and even walk the red carpet. So whether you're imagining your moment in the spotlight or your dream activities, it's your world starring you. Imagine Fashion Designer New York, Imagine Rock Star, and Imagine Movie Star. Simply imagine it.
So we've got more Imagine this year. A whole new slew of themes, including fashion designer, rock star, and movie star. Also, teacher, interior designer, and wedding designer. So it's going to be a big year for Imagine. We're also bringing Imagine to the Wii this year, announcing Fashion Party and Party Babies. It's pretty cute to see the babies running a running race in the living room. You can see it here at the show. I'm not kidding. So those two brands will be coming to the Wii this holiday season. So this is a year that Imagine is going to be bigger than ever. So we intend to continue to be the #1 brand on the DS. Imagine and Pets have been huge success for Ubisoft in capturing that games for girl consumer. But we think that there's a lot of room to grow in this segment. Girls are coming in by the bucket load and joining the gaming industry. So we're going to create a new brand this year. This holiday, we're going to add a brand to our Games for Girls lineup. First, a few facts. Sports. In 1972, 1 in 27 girls played a sport. 1972 is the year that Title IX was introduced by Congress that ultimately gave equal opportunities to females at the high school and collegiate level for athletics. Now, half of all the girls play sports out there. Half of high school athletes are female. 40% of collegiate athletes are female. So clearly, girls are interested in sports. But they want their sports, and they want it their way. Let me show you the trailer. That was fast.
It's about teamwork and courage. It's about support and a lot of practice. It's about making friends and cheering each other on. It's about being the best you can be and just being there for each other. But most of all, it's about energy.
So today we're announcing the first video game brand focusing on girl sports coming this holiday. Energy Adventure Riders, Energy Dance Squad, and Energy Gym Rockets. We talked to this consumer a lot, and this is what they told us they wanted. They do want to play sports video games. They just don't want to play their brother's sports video game. They want games that are made for them. So we're very excited about this brand. We're also very excited about our overall Games for Girls strategy this year. We think we're going to have a great year. Actually, Energy is a great segue to go into this next product that we're going to talk about. For the last couple of years, our studio up in Montreal, in collaboration with sports phenom Shaun White, have been working diligently to try and redefine the action sports genre. With its open world technology, this game is a true representation of the action sports lifestyle. Hanging with your friends, go where you want to go, do what you want to do, on or off the board. Here today to show us Shaun White Snowboarding is the very talented producer of the Shaun White game and Montreal's King of the Mountain, Louis Lamarche.
King of the Mountain. Hey everybody, I have Phil Morin, our creative director, with us today, and Scott Mitchell, our animation director. All right, just to put you in the setup, Phil's on one side, Scott's on the other. So, let's get going. All right. Today, we're bringing you even more of the Shaun White experience. You've all seen it in the past, but today we're bringing it in its full glory, in full, seamless, multiplayer, single experience. So, of course, in this seamless experience, we want you to stand out, because there's going to be all your friends with you constantly in the world. And to stand out, as you progress through the game, you'll be able to basically gain reputation, and with that reputation, you'll gain money. And with money, of course, you'll be able to buy more gear and, of course, stand out. So, of course, this is basically the idea of you'll know against who you're playing when you see the person who has the expensive gear. The loading screen, as you can see here, is not a loading screen. We basically throw you in the half pipe. So as you're waiting for the map to load, you can actually practice your move. So go ahead and jump in. Now, our worlds are massive. Phil, can you set up a marker here so you can come back to the actual spot later? Now, we want to give you the opportunity to, if you find a nice spot in our environment, to be able to explore it again. We don't want you to be looking for it for hours and hours. So we set markers. All right? Scott's going to be coming in here. Now, in the seamless experience, it's your choice to decide how the seamless works. The mountain is constantly open. The game will set that up for you initially all the time. So as soon as you jump into the game, your mountain is open to your friends or to anybody for that matter. It's your choice. If you want to turn it off, fine, we let you do that. But at the same time, it's one world, everybody, all your friends together. You can play in single on the mountain even though other people are with you. And of course, you can, throw snowballs at your friends, etc., etc. So, guys, go ahead and head down the mountain here. Now, from the beginning, a vision that we've shared in the studio in Montreal and with Sean was to offer the true rush of snowboarding. Not only about, doing tricks and winning races, but to experience the open mountain in all of its glory. So whether it's in the Alps, or whether it's in Alaska, or the Rockies, or even Japan, the mountain is huge, and you can explore it with your friends. And again, it's not just about tricking and racing. Taking a risk will have you win reputation. Winning competition, whether it's against AI or with your friends, will give you reputation. And of course, everything is based on the emotion and the true experience of what snowboarding is. When you're on the mountain, for those of you who snowboard, you're with your friends, constantly with them. And that's what we do. So, of course, we only have it here with 2 of the guys because we don't have 16 screens, of course. But imagine being with 16 of your friends and possibly more on the mountain, left and right. You're free to go where you want. You're free to go to do what you want, whenever you want. So, Phil, would you mind going back to the marker you've set up real quick? Now, we'll offer multiple challenges around the mountain for you to challenge your friend with. These are designed by us, but we will let you design your own challenge. So if you have a line, something that you like, and you want to challenge your friend at hitting a specific jump or in a specific half pipe, you'll be able to do that all the time. So the mountain is open. It's for you to decide where you challenge your friend. But in this specific case, I'll have Phil challenge Scott here in a freestyle competition. So go ahead and invite him if possible. So Scott got the invitation. The game will set it up automatically. We'll teleport your friends. So while you wait for your friends to accept your challenge, you can keep riding. You can keep playing. That's the beauty of it. And of course, the game will take Scott back up. There we go. They're in a challenge. Now, whoever impresses the crowd here wins. All right, go ahead, guys. The more you're constant, the more you're tricking, the more you're comfortable, the more you take risk, the more points you'll have. Of course, this is no Olympic performance at all, guys. Come on, do something. Maybe I should bring somebody out here to give you a few pointers. Hey, Sean. What's up? How you doing, man? Good. Thanks for coming over.
Hi. Olympic gold medalist Sean White.
So, Sean, you've been playing the game with your friends. How do you like it?
It's been hard for me because I'm so crucial when it comes to like what the cliffs look like and the snow looks like, and I mean I would say that my friends are the hardest to please because they're the core ones in the industry, and I mean I'm not gonna lie, they're impressed. They're really stoked on just how realistic the terrain is, and the kind of surprise element when you get to a cliff. You really don't know what it's like in real life until you go off it, and so they're stoked.
All right, the emotion is there. So you have any few pointers for these guys?
Yeah, you guys are terrible. I'll show you how it's done. No, I mean it's pretty cool. I think my favorite part is just being able to start at the top of the mountain. You literally go wherever you want. You know what I mean? It's kind of the freedom to do anything, and I don't know. I think that was my favorite part about the game so far, is that you're not forced down a certain path, because that's always lame, because then the run's the same all the time.
You choose your path. So everybody, Sean, thank you very much for coming here, really. And again, guys, seamless experience, authentic experience. In an open mountain, you do what you want with your friends whenever you want. This redefines action sports. I'm comfortable, I'm saying it. We're redefining it.
I hope you like it.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks, Louie. Thanks, Sean. How did he get in here? He doesn't even have a badge. Must have flashed those gold medals, huh? I'm very, very excited to present this next product to you. This former Game of the Year is finally making its debut on next-generation consoles. The Prince of Persia team is out to reinvent the Prince of Persia brand with the next generation of the Assassin's Creed engine, a completely new prince, a whole new combat style, and a very, very cool illustrative graphic style to the game. Critics are already saying that Prince of Persia will once again contend for Game of the Year. Let's watch the trailer.
Product not yet rated.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very, very pleased to bring up our last presenter of the day, one of our industry's fastest rising stars, producer extraordinaire of Prince of Persia, Ben Mattis.
Well, thank you, Tony, for that introduction. Hi, everyone. My name is Ben Mattis. I'm the producer on Prince of Persia. I'd like to introduce you to Tama. Tama is the lead combat designer on Prince of Persia, and he's going to be helping me with the presentation today. So to start off, I just want to talk about what we're trying to do with Prince of Persia. 2.5 years ago, the management of the company came to us and they said, all right, you know what? Prince of Persia has a certain magic to it that we want you to keep. There's a brand DNA there we want you to respect. It's a young action-adventure hero who saves the world in a fantasy Persian environment, collaborating with a beautiful princess. There's your blueprint. Keep that. Everything else, do what you want. It was a wonderful mandate for us, and it gave us a lot of opportunity to make sure that when we hit next gen, we hit it with a bang. And of course, in doing so, we are introducing to the world an all-new prince in an all-new adventure for this next generation of consoles. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to your new Prince of Persia. That's him on the right. And his lovely accomplice, Elika.
I think it's
I'm going to start talking today about Elika. I've said a lot about her in the past. I talked about her at Ubi Days and in some previews in the past. But now you get to see her in action. I said that Elika never gets in the way. And you see she doesn't get in the way. I said she never dies. She never falls behind. You can see she's always on your tail. And I said that she is there to make you, the player, feel cool. She is there to support the prince. The prince is an action hero. He's already a pretty powerful prince. She's also there to help save the prince if he dies. The prince is already a pretty powerful action hero, but by collaborating with Elika, he's able to just go that much further. She saves him if he dies. She helps point the way through the world to make sure he doesn't get lost. You'll see that in a couple of minutes. She helps him go further, go faster, and just make sure that what was already a pretty fantastic action hero is now that much cooler. Now, the second thing I'm going to talk about
Don't say it's quiet. Don't ever say it's quiet.
is our world structure. So Prince of Persia is no longer a linear game. We've taken the player out of the linear Prince of Persia experience that you saw from the past trilogy into a world where they are in charge. They get to decide where they want to go. Now, Tama, if you can just look around a little bit here and show them the left, show them the right, show them back, show them forward. Those are all possible paths for the player to take. And depending on the path that you take, gameplay is going to evolve differently and the story is going to evolve differently. So no two players are going to have exactly the same gameplay experience. And hopefully it will lend itself very well to replayability. Now, for the sake of this demo, we followed a certain path, but before we could complete it, we are interrupted by the hunter, which leads me into the third point, combat. As you can see, the combat in Prince of Persia really centers around the idea of a duel. It's you and it's Elika facing off against one enemy who's every bit as strong, every bit as capable as the combined power of you and Elika. It's going to take everything you've got to defeat this guy and every other enemy in the game. We really want you to have that sensation, that sense of urgency that comes from the feeling of a really, really spectacular boss fight. And we want that every single fight in the game. We want the camera really close, so you get those really cool dramatic shots. We want to make sure that you and Elika have the opportunity for some spectacular, collaborative, acrobatic combat against this enemy. And choosing to do this dual-type fight has allowed us to do exactly that. Now, Tama, obviously being the designer of this system, is very good and managed to make short work of our friend the hunter, and he's run away. So we're going to chase after him. Acrobatic flow is very important in Prince of Persia. In the previous trilogy, if you were a very talented player, a hardcore player if you will, you were able to pull off some incredible acrobatic sequences. But if you're a more casual player, shall we say, perhaps just getting used to the Prince of Persia franchise, there was a lot of stop and go. Jump, die. Jump, wall run, die. Jump, wall run, pull, die. And that's not really the rhythm that we want. We want all players, casual, hardcore, whatever, to have that sense of accomplishment that comes from just flowing through the world and hitting every single move just seamlessly, while at the same time making sure that those really advanced players have lots of opportunities to explore different pathways, maybe find some shortcuts, maybe string together a couple of moves that the casual players hadn't thought of. You're going to find acrobatics in Prince of Persia a real change from the acrobatics that you were used to in Sands of Time, but an improvement. You're going to be able to pull off those acrobatic combos that sort of even just the best players were able to do in the previous Prince of Persia games. You saw one of the creatures here sort of reach out and try and drown the prince, try and kill him. And before the prince could die, Elika reached out, grabbed his hand, and pulled him back to a safe platform. We call this move the Save Me. The point of the Save Me is to make sure that you, the player, feel frustration a little bit from dying. You know that you've just died. You tried to pull off an acrobatic move and you failed. Elika brings you back to the previous stable platform without interrupting the sense of immersion or even really the sense of rhythm that comes from the game. You're right back in the action. We don't think we need to artificially reinforce the sense of failure for the player anymore. You lose, continue, press start. I mean, I think gaming has evolved beyond that. And the Save Me system in Prince of Persia, we feel, is really a good representation of exactly that. So we're arriving at our final destination. You see that big blue beam of light. That is the healing ground. But before we can reach the healing ground, our destination in this demo, the hunter is back for one last fight.
Before he comes back.
Back?
You've weakened him, but he's not dead.
Oh, of course not. That would be far too simple.
So now Elika is going to use her magical power to drive the corruption out of this world. All of that dark matter that was really infecting the world is going to be driven out by this magical healing blast. And the flowers and the life and the light are going to return.
Do you want to rest?
Rayman won't rest.
And this gives me an excellent opportunity to talk about the last critical point that Tony mentioned earlier, the look and feel, the artistic direction of Prince of Persia. Hopefully you will all agree this is unlike most video games you've seen before. We call this artistic direction illustrative. We have what we feel is a very unique game. It's a unique franchise and a unique game. And we want our artistic direction to really dovetail with that uniqueness, to show all of you that we're not afraid to take risks, that we're not afraid to try something different, and that we have an artistic direction that really embraces the fantasy heritage of this brand. So ladies and gentlemen, that's Prince of Persia. It's coming out this holiday season on the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, and the PC. If you'll just allow me to reiterate the 4 key points one last time. All new artistic direction, I just mentioned it, I don't need to repeat it. Open world structure, bringing the player out of the linear corridors, out into the open world. Their gameplay choices impact how the game unfolds, how the story unfolds. No two players will have the same experience. Elika, a revolution, we believe, in the action-adventure genre for the AI-controlled support character. She never gets lost, she never gets in the way, she only ever makes you feel cooler. And, of course, our all-new combat system. Thank you all very much. I hope you have a great E3.
Thanks, Ben. That was fantastic. So before we leave today, we've got one more announcement that we want to make. Today, Ubisoft is introducing a completely new brand that is sure to shake up the gaming industry. I'll let you watch the trailer so you can see what I mean. Thanks a lot for coming to the press conference, and have a great E3.
Come on, Adam. You know what we want.
You don't stand a chance.
Come on.
Water!